Hey, did you know that Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins is opening in theaters this weekend? Well, now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
Hello everybody, I'm Dan Murrell. Welcome to my review of Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, the big summer blockbuster that's hitting theaters, along with M. Night Shyamalan's Old. And if you want to see me review that movie, you can click on the little card right up there. I'm releasing two reviews at the same time, so you can check out both big, wide releases that are coming out this weekend. Snake Eyes comes from director Robert Schwentke, who has done movies like R.I.P.D., Red, and the Divergent sequels, so Henry Golding, who you probably know from Crazy Rich Asians, along with many other things, is Snake Eyes, who we only know as Snake Eyes, an orphan looking for revenge for his father's death. He teams up with Andrew Koji's Tommy to train as a ninja with the Arashikage clan. Also attempting to be part of the plot are Baroness, played by Ursula Corbero, part of the evil organization Cobra, and Scarlet, played by Samara Weaving, part of an elite unit called the Joes. Cobra and the Joes are obviously there to lay the groundwork for future movies stemming out from this one, and I will say that Snake Eyes is least effective when it's trying to lay down this track work. Baroness and Cobra are at least tangentially related to the plot. It makes some sense as to why they're there, but Samara Weaving as Scarlet is completely superfluous to everything that is happening, feels absolutely forced in. Maybe she was an afterthought, she certainly does feel like an afterthought, but it's essentially to remind everybody that yes, G.I. Joe does exist. No, they're not all going to be in this movie, but yes, they may very well be in the next one. Henry Golding and Andrew Koji have a good dynamic as two men who are both looking for something and have potentially found what they're looking for in the other person. We see this brotherhood develop, and the building of that relationship is very important, not only to this movie, but from what I can tell, what they're setting up into future movies. If you know G.I. Joe lore and mythology, I'm not particularly versed in it because I didn't really watch the show when I was a kid. I wasn't allowed to. So I know that there are some people that are way ahead of me on what's going on with these different characters and where the future movies may take them, but I bought their relationship. I think it's the strongest part of the movie. Believe it or not, and this may sound shocking, but when you're focused on Snake Eyes in the Snake Eyes movie, the movie's at its strongest, and when you're trying to go outside of that and do 5 other different things, the movie is at its weakest. Henry Golding's not going to win any Academy Awards for this role, but I think he is suitably conflicted as Snake Eyes, who's trying to balance the noble art that he's attempting to learn with the vengeful bloodlust as he tries to avenge his father's death. Stylistically, there's nothing really that special in Snake Eyes. You've seen these sequences 100 times before. You've seen these kinds of fights 100 times before. I was actually hoping that they would be able to bring in something a little more stylized, a little more unique, because you not only have talented lead actors, but you have a great martial artist like Iko Uwais, who's there as one of the masters who trained Snake Eyes in the art of ninjutsu. You would hope that maybe they would bring something kind of cool to those things, but no, it's the same combination of shaky cam and CGI that you've seen in so many different movies before. The shaky cam in particular in one fight sequence was just unbearable. I don't know why you would ever shoot a fight sequence this way, because you can't even tell what's going on. It gets better in some of the other sequences, but you would hope in a movie like this, which is relying somewhat on martial arts, that you would allow that art to take the center stage, but it's really just a stepping stone to get from set piece to set piece, and there's nothing that remarkable about anything that's happening on screen. There's also nothing really that special about the script. Like a lot of movies these days, Snake Eyes is about 2 hours long. It could have been 145. I think you could have easily cut a couple beats, unnecessary story beats out of the script, so it does feel its length, but at the same time, there's nothing that horrible about it. I would say the most remarkable thing about Snake Eyes is its forgettableness. It's no more or less than the average summer blockbuster that you might be expecting when you walked into the door. It's way better than 2009's G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. That's not setting a very high bar, but that was a lesson in how not to do a G.I. Joe movie. I would watch this one 5 times before I'd watch that one again once, but I would put this about on par with 2013's G.I. Joe Retaliation. That's a movie that I liked a little bit more than most people, but that I still thought was a fairly standard blockbuster type movie. This one falls right into that same mold. I wasn't really offended by anything by it. I wasn't checking my watch. I wasn't enthralled by what was going on. It was just an amiable way to pass the time. However, if you're going into this movie hoping to see a lot of Snake Eyes as the Snake Eyes that you know from G.I. Joe canon, I think you're going to leave very disappointed. In the same vein that people may have been promised the dual gun wielding Lara Croft from the Alicia Vikander 2018 Tomb Raider, there's a bit of that kind of a double cheat that happens in this movie as well. So if you're a big G.I. Joe fan and you want to get a lot of action from Snake Eyes as you know him, you're not going to have a whole lot to grab onto in this movie. If you're looking for a perfectly adequate summer movie, something that's not really going to surprise or challenge you at all, if you just want to get out and go to the movies, then Snake Eyes is the one for you. It's neither incredibly good nor aggressively bad. My guess is you're probably going to have forgotten most of the movie by the time the end credits are over, but that's just what you get sometimes with a big movie like this. The new theatrical window that Paramount is doing means that Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins is going to be available on Paramount Plus in 45 days, much like A Quiet Place Part 2 was. So if you're on the fence about going to see it and you have Paramount Plus, if you were to skip this one in theaters and wait to watch it at home, I don't think that you're making the biggest mistake in the world. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot lost by not seeing the movie on the big screen, although I always encourage people to go if they can do so safely and support the theatrical exhibition business. But if there's a lot of competition and you're trying to figure out what to watch and there's other movies that you have above Snake Eyes, especially ones that maybe have a little bit more appealing subject matter, then I would say this one is okay to wait that 45 days and watch streaming if you're already paying for that streaming service. And that wraps up my review. There's not much to say about a movie. There's not much to say about, are you heading out to see Snake Eyes this weekend? Are you excited? Were you excited by what you saw? Let me know down in the comments below. And as I mentioned, if you want to see me reviewing the other major release this weekend, M. Night Shyamalan's Old, you can click on the card and watch that review as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see even more of what I'm up to, you can check me out on Patreon at patreon.com/Dan Murrell. And please like, share, subscribe, any of the videos that you see here on the channel. We are getting close to 100,000 subscribers. I'm hoping to hit that mark by the end of this summer or maybe early fall, and I'd love your help getting there. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you do head out to the theaters, please stay safe, take the proper precautions, and I'll see you next time. Bye.